A couple of weeks ago, I asked you to ask me some questions. It looks about as that time to do them. What's your favourite Pokemon? And do you watch anime? I've got two favourite Pokemon, Blaziken and Rayquaza. They both have really cool designs and I like both of them a whole lot, but I can't really decide between the two, so if there was a situation where I had a gun stick to my head and I had to choose between the two, I couldn't, I'd die. Yes, I do watch anime. I watch quite a bit of anime actually. Just like everyone else at the moment, I'm slowly getting my way through Dragon Ball Super. I prefer the Japanese dub to the English dub because I feel like Sean Schemmel kind of does a bit too childish with Goku, it just doesn't sound right.
Super Saiyan, please?
Outside of Super, I'm slowly getting my way through Neon Genesis Evangelion. I think it's called. It's spelt really weird. What's the biggest / most dangerous animal you think you could take down with your bare hands? Probably a goat. When will there be more Just Two Guys Talking or similar videos? That's a very good question. I don't know. I mean, if people would like to see them, then of course I'll try and make more in the future. And if anyone else wants to do the things with me, then absolutely, I'll try to do more like podcast sort of things. What's your earliest memory you can remember? So for some reason, I don't remember why I remember this so vividly, but when I was younger, I was sat in a high chair and I was playing Super Mario 64. It was time for dinner, so obviously everything had to go off, and I didn't know how to really save or do anything like that properly, so I tried to get my sister to do it, and she was too busy doing her own thing. So my mum came along and put the food on the high chair, and along came one of my cats at the time and stole some food and ran away because I was too busy trying to figure out how to save in Mario 64. For some reason that just sticks in my head so much. What's one of your pet peeves that others would find strange? I don't really have pet peeves. That may sound a bit weird, but not a lot really bothers me unless it's someone trying to really get at me. I don't have a lot of pet peeves, if any. If you could send one message back in time to your past self, what would it say? Don't be an idiot. If you could choose one snack to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be? M&M's. Hands down, M&M's. I love M&M's. If you could turn into any one animal at will, what would it be and why? Dragon. I like dragons. Dragons are cool. Dragon or a wolf or something. Something really cool. What's your #1 favorite place to eat at? KFC. Have you ever been addicted to anything? No. I can't say I have. Who's your favourite film director and why? I don't really watch films. There you go. If there was one that I really liked, then I would probably say Peter Jackson, because I just really like the Lord of the Rings films. What are some of the things you would like to do before you die? Something like a bucket list. I actually have two things that I would really like to do. The first one is kind of just doing like voice acting sort of thing. And I have a really good example thing that I would like to show you. It's this scene from Dragon Ball Battle of the Gods, I think it's called. I just love the way that Sean Schemmel just destroys his voice and goes all out in this one scream, just like, oh, let me destroy my world. I just love that scene. I'd like to do something like that one day. The second thing I'd like to do is to go to Japan. Plot twist, I'm actually kind of saving up to go to Japan at the moment after graduation because I really want to go. Will you dab on camera for us? No, I won't do that. What on earth is wrong with you? Have a song instead. Who's your best friend at IRL who isn't a housemate? It's you. When and how do you think you'll die? I don't know about that, let's go have a look-see. Now let's just go onto this website and plug in some numbers here. You'll press submit and oh. What was your first word? I think my first word was no, if I remember correctly. What's your favourite film? I don't really have a favourite film because I don't watch films. It's something I should really do. The last film I watched was a film called Wolf Children a few weeks ago. That was really... How long ago I last watched a film? I really don't watch films. I don't have the attention span, I'm sorry. If you died and went to heaven, what's with all these death questions? If you died and went to heaven, what would you say to God at the pearly gates? Are the gates actually made of pearls? Because the pearly gates. It's a funny joke. Take that one with you. What's your favourite game? Hands down, I'd have to say Kingdom Hearts 2. It's just such a great game that's really well made. I would really recommend anyone that just likes JRPGs to play Kingdom Hearts 2. It's such a great game. What's one game you think every gamer should play? I've thought about this quite a bit since I've seen this question, and the only game I can really think of is Portal 2. It's such a great, well-made game that I think that if you If you want to get into game design, or if you want to just generally learn about how games work, I definitely check out Portal 2 because it's just a really great game. Can you please make a Let's Play on Pokemon Emerald, please? Love your videos so much. Thank you. I wasn't really sure if this was a question or not, so I put it in anyway. You're welcome. As far as Pokemon Emerald goes, probably the next game after the Pokemon Ruby Nuzlocke, whenever that ends, eventually. But yeah, sure, I'll do Pokemon Emerald at some point. How much time do you normally spend on your Pokemon save file videos? This really just depends on how long I want to spend on the video. It also depends on how much content there is in that video. So if there's more Pokemon or more stuff to look at, then sure, I'll spend much more time on it than a game that has like a few hours into it. For example, the gosh darn Meowth video. That didn't take very long, that took like a few hours to make. But as an overall process, it would take about a month because I need to wait for ad revenue to come in and then I'd have to go out and find it. And then it kind of depends if the game has a decent save on it or not, so if it doesn't, then I'll send it back and I'll get another one. And then after that, it would depend on how long I'm spending on editing that video, if I want to make out a short script or not. Usually that would take a couple days to make it completely from start to finish, but normally, yeah, it would just take a couple days. What would the Darbus anime look like? Something like this. Will you add me on Roblox? No. Have you ever considered doing game reviews? Fun fact, I have done quite a few game reviews, I just don't do them anymore. I feel like when I do scripted videos, my voice kind of sounds a bit too formulaic and it doesn't sound right, so I don't really like doing game reviews anymore, or any real scripted video like that, because it sounds too stilted. But if you're interested, there's a playlist down in the description you could check out. It's got some game reviews that I've done. Not very good, probably the best one is the last one I've done. It was Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. What's your next Pokemon save file video going to be on? I don't know at the moment. I was thinking maybe something like another DS Pokemon game, or maybe a 3DS Pokemon game. I haven't really decided yet, but maybe a 3DS or another DS game. Have you ever considered doing save file videos on the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series? Or maybe other well-known RPG game save files? I've never played Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, so maybe one day if I feel brave enough to try it. I can't say that I'd know the ins and outs of the game because I've never played them before. I'm more well suited to Gen 3 Pokemon and like that's it. Maybe Gen 1 if you're lucky. It's not the question though. Sure, I'll try it at some point, and if it just falls flat, then there you go, you had your try. For the other RPG games, possibly. I'm not sure where I could really go into them. I might have to look into this sort of thing. But yeah, there's tons of RPG games I could really look into and see if I can do a save file video on. That's a really good question, actually. Thank you. What is the game you've put the most hours into? Probably I'd say Borderlands 2. I've put over 200 hours into that, and that's the only game that I can think of that I really have the records for. So I would actually just say Borderlands 2. If you're talking about a console game, easily Kingdom Hearts. A Kingdom Hearts game. What's your sub goal for this year? I don't really have sub goals. People can subscribe if they really want to. It's just nice to see people subscribe. It's not really what I aim to do, really. Reaching a sub goal is nice, but it's just not what I'm really into. What's your favorite meme this year? I've been a bit too out of the loop this year so far with memes. Although probably my favorite one is probably steamed hams. I could listen to that over and over again. It's a dumb great thing that I like too much for some reason. So those were all the questions, and thank you very much for submitting them. It means a lot to see such things. Many thanks. So just as a quick thing, I'm really sorry about this, but I'm just super busy at the moment for coursework. There's a lot I really need to do at the moment. So in terms of videos, they're gonna happen when they happen. I really need to put university first now from now on. So I'm sorry. I feel guilty about not making videos, but now I really can't spend the time making videos as much. I'll squeeze in the time to make videos every now and again, but university is just taking up too much of my spare time, so I really need to work on that. I'll go into more detail, but I don't think it's really worth it, so until then, thank you very much for all your questions, and thank you for taking the time to listen to me answer them. Until next time, I'm gonna walk over this way. Bye!